Hi, I'm Gary and welcome to my shop. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this new motorcycle pen that PSI has come out with, and I'm really glad to see them come out with this. It's a very unique motorcycle themed pen, not by any particular brand, but very recognizable style. So I will show you how I make this. It's really quite easy. So what this kit comes with comes in this Ziploc package, and a lot of these parts here come in protective packaging also to protect them during shipping. Comes with the brass tube, the pen refill, and the spring for the pen refill. The pen tip, which looks like an eagle head. The top part, which looks like the motorcycle engine, the kickstarter, and exhaust pipes here. And the instructions here on how to assemble it, how to turn it, and so forth. And the different bushings and so forth that you'll need for that. This body that I'm picking here is a ruby red silk lava bright. And I'm picking this because my son has a red Harley Davidson, kind of a dark red, and I'm hoping I'll be kind of a close match on making this for him. I will show you how this is made. This is a new kit from PSI, and I've been looking forward to them coming out with this for quite some time, as we do have a motorcycle rally once a year here in my town in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is called Thunder in the Valley, which is usually in about mid to late June of every year. So I will show you how I do this. Okay, first step I'm going to do is to cut this body piece to slightly longer than the brass tube. And I use a black Sharpie marker here to mark that out. Then I'll go to the bandsaw next to cut that to length. Then I will go to the drill press and cut a hole through that body with a 10mm acrylic drill bit. And after that, I'll glue this tube into the body. Then I'll square up the ends of this tube with the body. Then I'll go to the lathe and turn this to shape. Okay, so I have this cut out. My next step is to go to the drill press and drill a hole through it. What I need to do is to mark a center for my hole. I've got this Block's squid center punch that I use. Lines up on the four corners here and gives me a good alignment. I'm going to zoom out here. What I do is just give a light tap on this. Get it fairly centered here on this. Give it a light tap. So I just make a small indentation in this. If I hit it too hard with this block squid, I know it'll split the whole piece apart on me, and that's not good. So you got to be more gentle on this acrylic stuff, more so than you would be on the woods. Next, I will mount this up in my jig at my drill press and drill the hole through that. Okay, so I have this piece cut and I drilled it and put the brass tube in it. Now I have to square up the ends here so that they're perfect size and matching with the brass tube. Sometimes I have to trim off these edges here, make it so that they'll clear the miter gauge board on here so it'll rotate. I can get the sanding all the way around. I will secure this on here. Sounds like it's hitting the brass tube. And it is, so I can do the other end of it now. Sounds like that's hitting the brass now. And yes, it is. Set to go. Okay, here I've got this blank mounted onto the lathe here, so I can turn this to shape with the bushings. that's good. I've got it to the shape that I want, and from here I'll start doing the wet acrylic sanding. Okay, now I'm going to do the acrylic sanding. I laid a cloth across my lathe bed here because this is a wet sanding and don't want my lathe bed to get all rusty, so I have to clean it up periodically. And I'll run this at about 1500 to 1800 RPM for sanding acrylics. I'll go through a series of 6 different grits all the way up to about a 15,000. That's polished up really great. Next step I'm going to do is to take this off. I'm going to use my buffing wheels to polish this up to a really shiny finish. Okay, now I'm going to buff up this piece on my buffing wheels here. One I use a buffing compound, the other one's dry. So I'll charge this a little bit, then buff it. Running this at about 1200 to 1700 RPM for buffing. I just hold this on here and rotate it around and get it good and buffed up. Tighten up my tailstock a little bit, starting to make some noise. I'm going to dry buff it. Yeah, it's going to make for a great, beautiful piece. Next step, I'll assemble the pen. Here we get down to putting the parts together of the pen. Now the instructions here give you a diagram. Let me turn this around here. Shows you how the parts are supposed to lay out and go together in assembly. And then the assembly instructions are on the back side of the page. I think it'd be a good idea if they put the layout diagram and the assembly instructions on the same side of the page, so we don't have to keep flipping around to make references. But I laid these out like this as the way the assembly is going to go together. Pretty much what we'll do is press this upper part here, which is the part that looks like the engine, the kickstarter, and the exhaust pipes, which are the pen clip, and just pick a interesting point there to put that together. I usually like to line up the pen clip with the most interesting part of the blank, and we'll press this together. Got to get a fairly good alignment to it. Okay, and that goes together. Then for the other part here, this eagle head kind of has a part where the eagle head, it's got the eyes here, the beak, and so forth. And what they want you to do is to align that with this Kickstarter so that the eagle head is aligned up with that. So we got this brass insert that goes into here, and we'll thread this onto here snugly, but not too tight, because we're going to want to get this lined up, line this with the eagle head, so we've got a good alignment there, and kind of press it a bit snugly, and then unscrew this eagle head tip without turning this brass insert that threads in. Because when we tighten this back on again, we want this eagle head to line up with the Kickstarter. So, got that preliminarily lined up. I'm going to put it in the press here. Press this together. Like that. Now, I should be able to put this on. And the eagle head lines up with the Kickstarter, if you can see that. That's good alignment. Okay, Now, part to do is to insert the pen refill along with the spring on here. That'll go inside of there. Pen tip goes on, screws on. Then it's a matter of pushing down this Kickstarter and pushing it over a little bit, much like how the bolt action pen works. Push it down and over. That locks it in place. That locks the pen blank or the pen refill out, and we can write with it. To retract it, pull that back. Perfect deal. Well, thank you for watching this video. Hope you got the inspiration to make a motorcycle pen of your own. If you did, please give me a like and share it with your family, friends, and fellow craftspersons. Also, please subscribe to see what I may come up with next, and be sure to hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on anything. Also, I greatly appreciate all your comments and ideas. I get a lot of great tips from you. If the ladies don't find you handsome, at least they should find you handy. Thank you.